We fought for 2 years to block Joe Biden's agenda in Washington, D.C. and shut down gun grabbers here in Atlanta. This fall is our chance to send a message to all these gun grabbers that Georgia still stands for freedom. Hi, guys. Aaron Dorr here with Georgia Gun Owners. I know we're only a couple of weeks away from Election Day. And I also know what that means for many gun owners is that your inbox is full of requests for money. Your social media is nonstop requests for money. You see political ads on the TV. You hear it in the radio. It's all over. And I understand right now the temptation is just to unplug from everything and wait this out. But I want to make sure you guys know exactly what's at stake and to ask you to help finish the GGO budget to help us send a message that Georgia still stands for freedom when it comes to our Second Amendment freedoms. Again, guys, Aaron Dorr with Georgia Gun Owners. I think that to do that right, we have to back up just for a moment and remember how we got here. You know, it wasn't even 2 years ago when Joe Biden hobbled his way into the White House and commenced a nonstop war against gun owners like we haven't seen in decades in this country, maybe ever. And granted, Joe Biden doesn't even know what day it is, let alone what he's actually doing, but his handlers are the most America-hating, freedom-hating, gun-hating zealots, Marxist radicals that we've ever seen in this country. We now have a president who will stand there in a national televised audience and label MAGA Republican gun owners as enemies of the state. We have been declared domestic terrorists by our own government. Our own DOJ is establishing new divisions to specifically deal with domestic threats coming from MAGA-style Republicans, aka gun owners. That's where we are. And what we've seen over the last 2 years is a whole host of gun control bills that did pass the House that we have narrowly defeated in the Senate. First of all, of course, was the National Gun Registry, H.R. 8. Registers every gun owner in America using a universal background checks. You know, we all know what this is about, right? They have to have a list of gun owners to know who to confiscate them from down the road. It passed the House. It died in the Senate. Of course, they also passed a national assault weapons ban, H.R. 1808. Same thing. Passed the House, died in the Senate. But if this passes, it's going to be a felony to own any modern firearms, any modern rifles and shotguns. The AR-15 and all similar firearms, it'd be a felony for you and I to own those. That also died in the Senate, thank God. And finally, a national red flag gun seizure law. This bill also passed the House and died in the Senate. If any one of these passes, it's a disaster. If all three of them pass, our country would be unrecognizable because the tyrants in Washington, D.C. would come after us with everything they've got. And that is their goal. And they're not even trying to hide it anymore. So this fall, at the national level, we have a chance to send a message that we do not agree with Joe Biden's tyranny, and we specifically reject Raphael Warnock's being Biden's right-hand man and trying to demonize and make criminals out of all of us. So GGO has a series of ads already underway. They're all over digital media right now, highlighting Raphael Warnock's hatred for gun owners and all the votes that he's cast. And more importantly, all the bills he's also co-sponsored, but hasn't had a chance to vote on yet because we've shut them down in the Senate. We have got to send a message to Raphael Warnock and all of his fans in D.C. This is Georgia. So you might get away with saying that crap in D.C. That does not pass here in Georgia. So, guys, those ads are done. You can see them on our social media platform. You can see them on our YouTube channel. The digital ad budget has been funded, but the radio ad budget and the cable TV ad budget has not been finalized, and we need your help to make that happen. So please be generous right away. At the state level, perhaps even more importantly, we have a real chance here as well. This is a phenomenal year for the members of Georgia Gun Owners. We finally finished our fight to pass constitutional carry. I think we all know why that happened. It's been a long battle. You guys were relentless in your pressure, but we also had desperate politicians who had to get a win to finish that fight for their own best interest. And for all these various reasons, we did finish the fight this year for constitutional carry. But notwithstanding that, the Democrats here in Atlanta have only gotten more aggressive. They're not hiding in the shadows anymore talking about gun control. They're loud and proud talking about waiting periods, talking about efforts to repeal constitutional carry, talking about efforts to ban or overturn our self-defense laws and stand your ground law. And they're getting more aggressive by the day, feeding off of the momentum in Washington, D.C. You know, there was a time not that long ago when Democrats here in Georgia, or some of them anyway, were called the Blue Dog Democrats, the guys and gals who would still vote yes on a gun bill because they still had some common sense. But those days are gone. The woke leftist losers who are running today's House and Senate caucus, these people are pure enemies. They hate you. They hate our Second Amendment freedoms, and they hate the fact that we have fought so hard to protect them here in Georgia. So our second attempt to send a message here in Georgia this fall is in our state House and state Senate races. We have key races that we're working on, and we need your help to fund our ad budgets in those races as well. But of course, the big one here in Georgia, as we all know, and the big one that's not just a euphemism, the big one right now is the fight between Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp. Stacey Abrams is cut from that exact same America-hating Marxist cloth that you have, as is Raphael Warnock, as is Joe Biden. She is full of hatred for every single Georgian who owns a firearm. Her goals are very clear. Again, they're not hiding them anymore. She wants to repeal constitutional carry. She wants to repeal stand your ground law. She wants to pass red flag gun seizures. She wants to ban AR-15s, and she wants to have mandatory waiting periods on all gun sales here in the state. She is the most aggressive gun grabber that we have ever seen in the history of Georgia politics running for statewide office, even more than Raphael Warnock. Even more than Raphael Warnock. And guys, we have got to send a message in this race as well. Same thing. We have multiple ads done on this race highlighting her horrific hatred for gun owners. The ads are done. They're on social media, but we have got to get the boost ready to go. We have got to get that budget funded and then move on to our radio and cable TV buys. So guys, I hope you make a generous donation immediately to help us send this message, both in Raphael Warnock's situation, in our state House and state Senate races, and our governor's race, that we don't accept this tyranny here in Georgia, and that Georgians will stand up and will fight to defend our freedoms at the ballot box this November. Guys, every other candidate out there on both sides of the aisle are asking for money to promote their careers, asking for money to build their power base. We're asking for your support for one reason. We're fighting for freedom. We're fighting to defend what we have. We're fighting to expand what we have even more. And that is why we need your help right away today. So if you haven't yet done so, make a generous donation right now to help GGO finish the fight and send a message this fall at all levels of the ballot that Georgia rejects woke Marxist gun control, and we will fight to defend freedom here in our state. Thanks a lot, guys. Be generous, share our video, and we'll keep fighting for you.